From incredible synergies to secret interactions, here are 10 and 9/10 things in Destiny 2 that you might not know. This one has been making its rounds, but it deserves a spot on this list for completeness' sake. Sakeki Sting is a rather lackluster exotic since its nerfs, with not great power in PvE and highly situational power in PvP. But this exotic on Prismatic Hunter has a special interaction. Using a grapple melee on a target while your smoke is charged using this exotic will allow you to one-punch them in PvP. The smoke's explosion, poison, and the grapple's damage compound together into a deadly, albeit a little expensive wombo combo. Let's talk about the healing auto for a bit. Everyone knows how useful this frame is, but there are even more reasons to use these than meet the eye. It turns out the healing that these give off counts towards your Transcendence charge, mostly from the Restoration buff. This means that these will generate light side Transcendence energy literally twice as fast, so long as you're dumping your healing into a nearby ally. But we aren't even remotely done with healing autos. Damage stacking can be a bit confusing in Destiny 2. Generally, the rule is that you can stack damage so long as they are from separate sources, with similar sources overriding lower sources. Someone in the comments can correct me on that. These sources can be ability or armor, such as radiant or empowering buffs, weapon buffs, and exotics. It's pretty much impossible to get an exotic buff that isn't either an armor or a weapon buff, but the healing auto frame is the exception. As you have been seeing, the ace stacks as you would expect from damage increasing sources, but doesn't stack Momentum Ore from both an Empowering Rift and a Radiant buff. But it does stack with the healing auto for even bigger bonus damage with Momentum Ore. Just another reason why the support frame autos are fantastic. Last episode of TYDK, we talked about how Prismatic Hunter can make an incredible use of the Facet of Solitude for free invisibility. But this goes further. As it turns out, for whatever reason, Thorns Poison will allow the Facet of Solitude to trigger on basically anything you shoot at, assuming you hit 2 headshots. With the stylus execution aspect, this allows you to have invisibility after every kill as long as you're hitting your crit spots. And before you ask, no, this doesn't work with any other 140 hand cannon. Facet of Blessing reads that it grants healing on melee kills, but what you might not know is that there's quite a fair amount of supers that count as melees, allowing you to trigger health regeneration mid-super on supers that in their normal natural subclasses wouldn't be possible. The following are some supers that in theory work. Pay close attention to the ones that strangely don't. Are you getting bodied by the Storm's Edge in PvP, or wondering why the Storm's Edge sometimes just doesn't do anything in PvE? Well, this is why. It turns out that the game runs a line of sight check on the player and the knife that, if ever gets interrupted, will reject the teleport and subsequently the damage. This will work with glacier grenades as well as map geometry. So, if you need some sort of last-ditch effort, you can use a glacier grenade or try to get behind a door that's closing to completely stop this really strong PvP super from chasing you down. The timing is pretty darn tight, I'm not gonna lie, but it's at least something for a last-ditch effort. I have been playing Gambit for 12 hours straight because my chat hates me. This is likely more than the entire Destiny population combined, so here's something that you might not get to see. Bungie cut a few corners when adding the 2 new enemy types, the Lucent Hive and the Shadow Legion, to Gambit.
Shadow Legion on the field.
It turns out animating lip syncs is both difficult and costly, so in order to save some energy, Bungie simply changed the Drifter to hold the coin over his mouth, so no lip syncing is required, and you will never be able to unsee this. I'm so sorry.
Hi, bring a sword. Enough fooling around. I got Lucent Hive coming for you.
Do you like explosions? Do you wish you could make explosions happen in your super? Well, Prismatic's got you covered. Using the Facet of Justice and popping your Transcendence before popping your super will buff your super to cause explosions with kills. This works on any super too, not just the one shown here. A long time ago, we showed that killing a stasis turret from a warlock will give you a kill clip effect, but it turns out that Bungie reused this code for the speaker sight helmet and the healing turrets that it spawns. If you're struggling against a team of healing orb support warlocks in PvP, grab a kill clip style weapon to give yourself a free source of weapon bonus damage to help counter them. As if Prismatic Hunter didn't have enough, Blink cancels Grapple. This obviously can be used as a fantastic mix-up tool to an opponent, but it also can allow you to trigger grenade or grapple-specific effects, such as the Sir Tarakani's Facade, for almost no cost. Take a look. Do you hate the Kvostov? Well, let me give you some more reasons to hate the Kvostov. Kvostov acts like the old Dune Marchers in that it will ricochet off almost anything, including dead bodies. If your friend took the pavement temperature challenge recently next to you, he is still an active source of free damage bonus for your opponent. If you're fighting one of these things, beware. Would you like to see me slowly lose my mind? I am live on Twitch right now playing a Gambit marathon. Subscribe, bless your faces, and deuces.